The meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin took place on August 15, 2025, at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. Here's a breakdown of what went on and its implications. The summit aimed to discuss a potential peace deal for Ukraine, with Trump stating that a fully-fledged peace settlement is the goal, rather than a ceasefire. Putin and Trump discussed having negotiators work directly towards a peace settlement, bypassing a ceasefire. The meeting was seen as an effort to establish a direct personal channel between the two leaders, potentially bypassing external influences. Hello, my fellow viewers. We need your help. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, this is the time to do so right now. Please do not wait. Why Alaska? Alaska was chosen for its symbolic and strategic significance, being the site where Orthodoxy first arrived in America, highlighting the historical connection between Russia and the United States. The location may have also been chosen to convey a message of direct diplomacy between the two nations, away from external pressures. Ukraine's involvement. The president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, was not invited to the initial meeting, with Trump suggesting that Ukraine would need to agree to certain terms, such as recognizing Russian sovereignty over certain regions, before being included in further talks. However, Trump did brief European leaders and President Zelensky after the meeting, and a follow-up meeting between Trump and Zelensky is planned. European leaders issued a joint statement welcoming Trump's efforts to stop the killing in Ukraine and achieve a just and lasting peace. They emphasized the need for ironclad security guarantees for Ukraine and expressed support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. European leaders were not invited to the initial meeting, but are expected to be involved in future talks, potentially through a trilateral summit with the US and Ukraine. If Ukraine had been invited to the meeting, the results might have been different in several ways. More direct communication. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has expressed concerns about the potential for Ukraine to be pressured into concessions without having a direct say in the negotiations. Being present at the meeting could have allowed Ukraine to communicate its needs and priorities more effectively. Different negotiation dynamics. With Ukraine at the table, the dynamics of the negotiations might have shifted. Zelensky has ruled out formally handing Moscow any territory, which contrasts with Trump's suggestion that Ukraine should make concessions to end the war. Having Ukraine involved could have led to more emphasis on Ukraine's security guarantees and territorial integrity. Potential impact on agreements. European leaders have emphasized the need for ironclad security guarantees for Ukraine. With Ukraine's participation, the discussions might have focused more on concrete security measures and guarantees, potentially leading to a more comprehensive agreement. Some key points from European leaders in response to the summit include support for Ukraine's sovereignty. European leaders reaffirmed their support for Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty, emphasizing the need for strong security guarantees. Concerns about Russia's intentions. Leaders expressed concerns about Russia's willingness to negotiate in good faith and the potential for Russia to try to split European and US unity. Importance of continued pressure on Russia. European leaders stressed the need to maintain pressure on Russia through sanctions and economic measures until a just and lasting peace is achieved. Impact on the translation business. As a translation company, Languages Unlimited should be aware of the potential implications of this meeting on global business and diplomacy. Some key areas to watch include 3. Increased demand for Russian and Ukrainian translations. As diplomatic efforts continue, there may be a surge in demand for translation services in these languages, particularly in the fields of international relations, law, and business. Shifts in global politics and trade. The meeting's outcome could impact global trade policies, potentially affecting the demand for translation services in various industries, such as oil and energy. Growing importance of diplomatic translation. Accurate translation will be crucial in diplomatic communications, and companies like Languages Unlimited may need to ensure they have the expertise and resources to handle sensitive and high-stakes translations. Overall, the meeting between Trump and Putin marks a significant development in international diplomacy, and its outcome could have far-reaching implications for global business and politics. As a translation company, Languages Unlimited should be prepared to adapt to potential changes in demand and priorities. Now it's your turn. Was the meeting in Alaska a success in your view? Should the President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, have been included in that meeting? How about the European leaders? Do you think they should have been invited to that meeting? How will the translation industry be affected if a peace agreement is reached? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.